Hundreds of Marsiling-Yew Tee residents have gathered together to commemorate the swearing-in of Mr Lawrence Wong as Singapore's Prime Minister. Mr Wong is an MP of this GRC, and this is where he has served for nearly a decade. We're watching live pictures of newly sworn-in Prime Minister Lawrence Wong there at UT. That is the home ground of his Marsiling-Yew Tee GRC. Hundreds of residents, they are young and old, have gathered there. They have been waiting there since 6 p.m. He's speaking to some of them right now. And once again, Mr Wong has been MP for nearly a decade now. His team won the constituency during the general election that was held back in 2015. He's now here for his first ever community event as Prime Minister, fresh from the swearing-in ceremony earlier on at the Istana. Mr Wong, of course, made his way all the way from the Istana to this region in the northwest to meet with these residents. He made that journey with his wife and his GRC teammates, Mr Alex Yam, Mr Zaqy Mohamad and Ms Hany.
Please give your warmest big round of applause for our Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong!
Absolute scenes of jubilation there by the residents in UTGRC for Mr Lawrence Wong. Earlier on during the ceremony at the Istana, Mr Wong he actually talked about his vision for Singapore, having thanked the outgoing Prime Minister Lee Long for his service to the nation. He'd said that a country with people who are more inclusive, gracious and big-hearted, it's an important goal for Singapore. He talked about building a society where every Singaporean matters, and a Singapore that matters to every Singaporean. He'd said during that speech that the Forward Singapore movement, it represents the ambitions of our generation and expresses our resolve to keep our society strong and united. We'll bring you more on this a little later in the programme. PM Wong called on Singaporeans to come together with his new team to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. In an essay film on his life story, Mr Wong says that there is more to do, even as much has been already accomplished. Born in 1972, Mr Wong's father came from Hainan Island as a teenager, while his mother was a school teacher. Mr Wong attended Hague Boys Primary School along with his brother and male cousins. After graduation, he joined the Trade and Industry Ministry as a research economist, assessing the impact of the Asian financial crisis on Singapore before going on to reform the national healthcare system and diversify the economy. Then, in 2011, he joined politics after serving as Mr Lee Hsien Loong's principal private secretary, as he was inspired to contribute more to the nation.
My story, like so many others in Singapore, is a story of possibilities. If you asked me 30 years ago if I had envisaged all this, my answer is no. My father, who died 3 years ago, would certainly have been surprised that the son of someone of his background could become Prime Minister. But it would have vindicated his faith that he had made the right choice coming to Singapore.
Applause for Prime Minister Lawrence Wong.
You are watching live pictures of newly sworn-in Prime Minister Lawrence Wong there in UT, the home ground of his Marsiling-Yew Tee GRC. Let's listen in.
MPs, my fellow grassroots advisors, residents and friends, good evening. Vanakkam. Selamat sejahtera semua. Terima kasih atas sokongan anda. Terima kasih. Banyak-banyak. Terima kasih. 各位居民朋友们，大家晚上好。非常感谢你们，这么晚还是这么多人来这边接待我，谢谢欢迎我，谢谢你们。我非常荣幸能够出任我国总理，而且以这个新的身份继续为大家服务。虽然时间很晚，可是我们特别赶来这边，因为我希望呢，我第一次以总理的身份参加的第一个活动，就是见我们马斯岭油池的居民，特别要感谢你们的支持，你们的鼓励，谢谢大家。Thank you again. I know it's getting very late. I think very soon maybe the residents may not be very happy because it's past 10:30. But I decided to come rush from the Istana tonight because I wanted my first event as Prime Minister of Singapore to be an event with all of you, residents of Marsiling-Yew Tee GRC. I'm here to thank you for your support, for your confidence and trust in me and my team, and for our chance to be able to serve all of you. So thank you very much. Limbang, Yew Tee, Woodgrove, Marsiling. Thank you. Tonight's transition is not just a leadership change, as I mentioned in my speech just now at the Istana. It's also a transition across generations for all of Singapore. There are many of us, there are more of us in Singapore now who are born after 1965. Many of you here. And all of us today, we inherit a Singapore that our forefathers have built, a strong, prosperous Singapore. But it's now our turn to take Singapore forward and to make Singapore even better. Of course, the road ahead will be challenging, it will be tough, but there are also immense opportunities and exciting possibilities. So I look forward to working with all of you. The best days of Singapore are still ahead of us. The best chapters of our Singapore story lie ahead. Let's work together to build a better Singapore together. We want to see a Singapore where everyone can progress, everyone can do well, everyone can be the best possible version of themselves, and where we can continue to become ever more united as one people, regardless of race, language, or religion. And as Prime Minister, I will focus and work with my team and with all Singaporeans to deliver on these promises. Of course, I will also continue to serve as your MP, your Member of Parliament, together with my fellow MPs, Mr Zaqy Mohamad, Mr Alex Yam, Ms Hany. In my new capacity as Prime Minister, I hope you understand that from time to time, there may be new responsibilities which makes it difficult for me to attend some community events and activities the way I used to in the past. But I assure you, we have a very strong team, all my fellow MPs, our grassroots leaders, our key activists. We will continue to work hard to provide a better home, a better living environment, and to take care of all your needs in Marsiling-Yew Tee, in Limbang, in Yew Tee, Woodgrove, and Marsiling, the whole GRC. So once again, thank you, Marsiling-Yew Tee, for your support. Let's build a better community. Let's build a better Singapore together. Thank you very much.
You've just been watching the live pictures of the newly sworn-in Prime Minister Lawrence Wong at UT, the home ground of his Marsiling-Yew Tee GRC, addressing residents there and thanking them for their support.